Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, damsels and dingbats, to another season of Stranded Deep. Last time we played, we did pretty much everything we could find to do in the game, including building a big ass mansion out of bricks, hunting down the three known types of sharks and putting them on display on our lower level. We built a massive raft and the dockyard for it. We had a little orchard going for our fruit. We did quite a few things, and it actually got to the point where I had burned myself out and I was ready to be done. But quite a bit of time has passed, and they have added quite a few things to the game since we last played. So I figured it was about time we kicked this thing back in the butt and got started again. However, those of you who watch my Stranded Deep videos, well, you know how this works. Every season I am forced to start over. Now, that was quite a pity because I really, well, you saw how much work I put into that last house. And I was planning on just picking up from there because who wants to watch me do all that again? But due to the number of changes they made, something in my save file either got corrupted or it simply was not copacetic with the new versions of the game. Needless to say, I had to start over. Now, I'm not, I love this game, but I'm not all about doing that all up from the ground up again. So what I did was I took advantage of the game's cartographer, which has an island editor in it. So what I did was I went ahead and went in and created my own little basic island, and I just dumped a crap load of basically bricks and some tools on the island so that I could go ahead and go in and rebuild the game. Now, or basically, I rebuilt the house, I rebuilt my storage area, I rebuilt my raft. I did do some roaming around for resources, but, like sticks and rocks and stuff like that. But for the most part, I went ahead and just rebuilt. Now, before we get into this season too heavy, I would kind of like to show you what I've done. This house is not the same as my last house. I'm staring at the floor once again because have it set up to where I save with a bed now instead of the tent outside. So I'm trying not to give away too much about the island until I can get in good position to show you. So, and of course, it is the middle of the night. So, actually, before I turn around and show off much of anything, we're going to go ahead and wait a minute and abracadabra, make the sun come up. All right, close enough. So, as I said, new island created with the island generator. This is my new house. Let's do the tour really fast. Real quick, let me start my... Come on, phone. I need you, phone. All right, start my stopwatch here. All right, so up here, real fast, we have my storage area. I kind of have it sectioned off for organization. We've got our tools, our boat parts, tarps, planks, tin, a bunch of extra buoy balls, and what's left of the bricks. Now, I kind of overestimated how many bricks I was going to need for this project, but that's okay. Extra bricks I may use for something later. I made sure that the island had a few yucca plants. When you come in right here, this is my work area. This is one of the new items that the game has. It's the plank station. And the way you use this is when you chop down a tree or when you find a log, you can bring it in and you can turn that one. You can turn them into planks at the rate of one log per plank. So it's kind of expensive, but it's when you want to make a bunch of stuff out of planks and you don't want to wait to find them laying around in the world, this is an awesome way to do it. So this has been handy. Of course, over here we have our loom and our tannery. I will at some point rebuild uh, the oven. What is it? No, the furnace. The furnace and the clay station will be here. But obviously, since I spawned in the bricks I needed for this, I didn't really need to do that at the moment. We will have that here at some point. Coming up inside the front of the house, this is going to be my little deck area. I plan on building a couple chairs and a table. It's not really going to have much function for game purposes, but if I'm living on an island out in the middle of nowhere, I'd like to have a nice little deck to sit and watch the water and drink my coffee, and this is kind of what this room would represent. You come in down here on the main floor. Of course, I've got this is where I keep my weapons. And so I've got a couple tables and some shelves to keep some basic stuff that I've picked up in my travels. Over here, I have my hobo stove, my food storage table, my smoker, and I keep some fern leaves in here to keep these fueled. Got a small storage closet in here. This is basically where I'm keeping my medical supplies as I find them. Also, I think, actually, I was going to say, I think one thing I wasn't able to replace was my sharks, my trophy sharks. So this season we're going to go out and we're going to hunt the animals of Stranded Deep. And we're going to make kind of like a little museum of them. So I'm either going to put that down here, or I'm going to put it upstairs. Upstairs would probably be better because I got a lot more room. It's a lot more open. All I have up here is my bed. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to put up here, but I wanted to put something up here. And you'll notice that my roof is completely unfinished. I actually did that on purpose because I was going for the skylight type thing, so when I'm up here at night I can see the stars and it's well lit. When it rains, the rain comes in, but we're going to pretend it's glass and we're going to pretend that isn't happening because I want to. So also, as you can see out there, I have my boat. I've rebuilt the raft. I did not put a mast and sail on it this time because I have no reason to have a sail and a motor on my boat at the same time. Originally, I was doing that because I figured if I ran out of gas, I'd have a backup method of propulsion. But I have yet to run out of fuel on that. So I don't know if they've implemented fuel yet. My luck, they have, and I'm going to get out there while we're hunting and run out of gas, and that's going to be that. But as far as I know, they haven't done that yet. So I've got my 3 water stills out here, which have been more than enough so far to keep me hydrated and my plants. Speaking of which, you can either go around the back of the house, or the way I've designed this, as you notice, there's another opening right there. And it's got a set of stairs that come down to my garden, where I keep a small collection of fruit plants, so that when I get hungry and I don't feel like killing the piggies or the fishes, I usually have fruit. Now, I don't have any fruit on here right now because I harvested it just before the episode. I have a habit of being away from the island for a day or two, and it doesn't rain, and my plants die. So I don't want that to happen again. If it does, I won't be dealing with spoiled fruit. I've still got a few coconut trees on the island so that I can have coconuts. And I actually discovered, instead of climbing the trees to get the coconuts, a lot of people like to throw javelins at the coconuts. And that'll, of course, bring down the coconut. But I found the spear gun and the bow do the same thing, and they're a lot more accurate. So I don't have to huck 5 or 6 spears and miss the coconut every single time, and then have to go get the coconut and then go get the spears. So yeah, I prefer to use the bow. As you've noticed, I do have a couple piggies running around on my island. One of them we will kill for the trophy room at some point. The others, I don't know how many piggies I've got on the island. I had 3 or 4 of them at one point, but I think I killed one because I needed the leather. But we're going to let the rest of them live because, yeah, I don't need to kill them. One of those seagulls will end up in the trophy room. Like I said, the trophy room's going. I'm going to, before the season's over, I'm going to try and kill and put on display one of every animal in the game, including some that we haven't even seen yet, like the marlins. We need to find one of those big manta rays or the stingrays. I don't even know if the whales are still in the game. That's going to be fun, trying to pack that big bastard back to my island. I did not see a whale all last season, so I'm thinking maybe they took him out of the game. What else is there? There are several new things in Stranded Deep. First of all, we can take a look at the crafting system right here. Maybe. Okay, so you're familiar with everything we have here. I don't think there's anything new in the tools. They've moved bandages over into tools. They now have water skins to supplement your clay water bottles. And actually, I've got a couple of those. I got 2 of those on me now, and they hold 3 drinks of water each. So those have been handy. Structures. Again, we have the plank station. I don't think there's anything else in here new since we were last together. Furniture. This is all pretty much the same, except that now the bed is a sleeping bag. As you saw upstairs, the sleeping bag, you don't have the standing beds anymore like we used to have. The hooks, I finally figured out how to use the hooks. The problem I was having was that when you go to put the hook down, or when you go to anchor the hook to the wall, you got to be like right on the wall. And every time I tried to do it, I was like back this far trying to put it on the wall, and it wouldn't do it. And I learned that you need to be like right up there. Now, I do have one hook. Actually, I think I may have 2. I've got one hook on this wall over here, and I've got a lantern hanging from it. Now, lanterns, in the last season I had a couple. The last time I built this house before it glitched, I had a couple. So I'm thinking if I can find a few more of these lanterns and then put some pegs up on the walls around here, I can keep this place lit at night. I did put another hook somewhere over here, I think, at one point, because I was trying to hang my bow from it, and I discovered you can't hang your weapons and stuff from it, unfortunately. So right now, the only thing you can hang from it that I'm aware of are these lanterns and the fire torches, which is fine. If I can't find enough lanterns, I can always find sticks. So that's hooks. Again, I don't think we have anything else in the furniture area here. Medical. You can now make aloe salve because they've implemented sunburn, and basically at night you get really freaking cold, and during the day, unless you're in the shade, you get really hot and get sunburn. Now, I don't really deal with that a whole lot. Don't have to worry about that a whole lot because I'm playing on builder mode, which doesn't, you don't have to eat or drink quite as often, and apparently the sunburn doesn't have as bad of an effect because I'm out in the sun all day, every day, and I haven't really noticed much of a difference. So I'm thinking that's probably because I'm in builder mode, which I didn't even realize was a thing until this season. Apparently you can go between builder mode and survival mode. So we're just going to go ahead and stay in builder mode because I'm a wuss. But beware be aware that when you play, if you are in survival mode, you may want to have some of this with you, just to keep yourself from burning up. Story mode, this is something that's new. We can actually put together a gyrocopter. And I'm not sure if the gyrocopter is just another means of transportation to get you from island to island faster, or if this is actually like end game, you build the gyrocopter, you're out. Now, we're going to figure this out this season. We're going to take a look at that towards the end of the season. After we've done all our hunting, we're going to take a look and see if we can't figure out how to put this gyrocopter together and see exactly what it does. Trophies. There are 3 trophies in the game that you can get from missions. There are now missions in the game. We go to the standing sea fortresses, or the oil rigs as I used to call them, and they've got missions that you can take. One mission is to defeat and kill a giant squid. There is also a megalodon, and I think the third one's a giant eel. I'm not sure, but we will be taking a look at these after we've done some basic hunting and building up our supplies. We will be taking a look at going out and doing these missions. So that's new. Farming, this is all the same as it once was. Rafts are pretty much the same. And as far as I know, I haven't seen much difference. I think they've changed up the resources, quantities and resources needed for the engine, but it's not really a big deal. So I think that's about it for the changes on the crafting. What other changes are there that I can think of off the top of my head? The crabs, these little buggers out here. Where are my crabs? I know I got one. I know there's a crab there, but it's not dead. It came back to life. I killed it earlier. Anyway, the crabs will attack your ass. They don't do any real damage. I imagine if you let them attack you over and over and over again. Oh, there's my dead crab. Imagine if you let them attack you repeatedly long enough, they might do some damage. But when he runs up and pinches you, it doesn't really do a whole lot. So crabs will attack you now. They have a new weather element in the game. When a storm occurs, I think it's a typhoon. I'm not sure what it is. It's just a really big, loud, obnoxious lightning storm with really loud thunder, and the waves go crazy, and it's quite an experience. And undoubtedly, we will experience that at some point during this season. Obviously, we're not going to have one today. The weather is nice. The weather is, beautiful. What else? I really don't know off the top of my head what else what I can tell you has changed in the game, because I'm not all too familiar with a lot of the changes beyond what I've read and what I've seen on other YouTube channels. So I guess we're just going to have to experience those as they arise. So for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this little crabby, and I'm going to take him inside, and we're going to start our Museum of Dead Critters. Now, what I think I'm going to do is I'm probably going to go to an island somewhere that's not my island, and I'm going to chop down a bunch of trees so I can make a bunch of planks, so I can make a bunch of tables. And then I will put the tables up around in here, and that way when I get these animals and these critters, I can put them on display on the tables. That way they're just not laying around on my floor. So I think what I will do is I will go ahead and leave you here. I will do that, and then when I get back, this room will be magically full of tables. Or not. Well, I built a couple tables. Yeah. And a couple shelves. I was doing good. But then I realized, unfortunately, I did not know before, that when you go to put an animal on the table, or at least a crab, he falls through the table. And it does the same thing with the shelves. So, I don't know. Oh, hold on. He almost hung onto that one. I don't know if we're going to be able to do the whole... Come back inside, crab. I don't know if we're going to be able to do the whole... Yeah, see? We're not going to be able to do the whole, put the critters on the table thing. So we're just going to have to lay them out on the floor next to each other, and that'll have to be that. Now, hopefully they'll fix that someday. I mean, I don't think they ever intended... These critters are meant to be eaten, not collected. So they may never fix that. That's fine, I guess. But it is kind of disappointing for what I was intending to do, because it would have just looked nicer. So now what I'm going to do is, I've decided, originally I was just going to do, I forget how many of these arrows I made. It's a good thing I can't loot the table. What was I saying? Man, I'm having really bad ADD today. I'm having such bad ADD, I don't even know what word I'm trying to say as I'm speaking. I was going to go out and kill just sharks and rays, like the ocean stuff, and put it on display. But, you know, I realized, other than the piggies, and, you know, we've got piggies and snakes and birds, and this game's got all kinds of stuff. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to kill one of everything I come across, and then we will see when we're done what we have left. I'll even do some research. That is the word I'm thinking of. And I'll see if I can't, you know, the internet's got lists for everything. So maybe they'll have a list of, these are all the animals currently in this video game. And maybe the list will even be nice enough to say, and this is where you could go to find them. And we will do some hunting this season. Try to get a couple different animals each episode. Right now I'm trying to figure out where this stupid pig went. Where did that piggy? There's a piggy. I don't want to kill all my piggies. I'm not that kind of guy. Let that piggy stay there. But I did shoot a piggy. Are you the piggy? You're not the piggy I shot either. So I'll leave you two so you can make a little family. Where did my piggy's got a harpoon in his butt go? Where are you? Yeah, see, this is one of the disadvantages of using the island maker. I didn't put my rock down far enough. So keep that in mind. If you use the island editor, or the island creator in this game, make sure that, I mean, it doesn't make a difference. I can still use that. I can still mine the rock. It just looks artificial. Because it's artificial. My boats turned out pretty good, though. Yes, both of these boats are looted already. Wow, I almost messed that one up, too. I almost said both of these lootable, but no, I didn't, but I just did. Anyway, and I completely forgot what I was saying again. Anyway, island creator, lootable. I don't know. Why am I having so many problems with this piggy today? I mean, I'm only shooting him with sharp sticks. It shouldn't be such a big deal. As soon as we're done killing this piggy, we're probably going to go ahead and wrap up this episode. I don't have any snakes on this island. I can get a seagull off just about any island, though I'm going to probably want to get the seagull and the bat off of this island. because as of now, or as of since the beginning of the game, I guess, there's never really been any way to put a full-sized animal in your pocket or in your backpack. You have to butcher them down and then put the meat, and you can't reassemble them. So it's going to be a challenge to get the critters back home. And of course, the bigger the animal is. I remember last season we did the great white. That was an experience. I had to swim all the way back to the freaking island with that shark in my hands, trying not to get eaten by other sharks. And oh man, that was a horrible experience. I think it literally took me something like 4 hours real time with my finger mashed down on the right mouse button, which is what's used to hold something in the game. I think I dropped the shark 3 or 4. I almost lost it twice in deep water. It sinks like a rock. And but I managed to get it back home. I'm not looking forward to doing that again this season, but I'm going to. So hopefully I'll get a little better footage of me killing it than I did last season. But we will see. So let me pull the arrows out of Piggy and go put him on display, and I'll be right back. Alright, so here we have Crabs and Piglet on display. I think I have a label maker downstairs. I don't know if you can label animals, though. Maybe we'll take a look at that next episode. When we get together next episode, we'll go see if we can't find a couple more of these critters and get them back here to the base. So until then, thank you again for watching Season 3, Stranded Deep. I've been your host, DM Renavion, saying stay safe, have fun. I'm out.